Hello, my name is Worthy, a professional Valorant coach. If you're looking to climb the ranks and improve your overall gameplay, you definitely want to leave a like and a sub, and enjoy the video.
Yeah.
So if you make your life easier, you're going to have less of these moments, right? If you were to play off your jet, say peek on my contact, I'm swinging and shooting, like right now you would be shooting really slow because you know that jet would trade you easily at this point, right? But you're not in that state of mind because you're deciding to take it on your own.
One thing that I definitely feel like I need to improve on is being more aware of my teammates, because a lot of the time I just take fights on my own. I'm not paying enough attention to the map. Like mid-fight.
Part of it is because you haven't zoomed it out, right? It's a driver's protocol. So when you're driving, typically most of your information or most of your focus is going to be coming from your windshield. You're going to look straight ahead, right? But they instruct you to check your mirrors every once in a while. How many seconds does it take for you to check your mirrors really quick?
Like a second?
Yeah, like a second, right? And how much do they advise you to be checking them? It's like every 5 seconds or so. So it's no different here, right? I want you to treat this like you're driving. Most of the time you're gonna be looking, close to the crosshair or dead center of the screen, but every 5 seconds or so you can take a look up there. If you hear a sound or a gunfight and you want to know where that fight's happening, you quickly flick your eyes over to minimap just to get that information. And what's going to end up happening is you're going to be checking your minimap more, and you're going to be choosing to check it in a point where you're going to end up getting into a threatening situation. There's a certain point in time where you start running into the oh shit line. Right now the oh shit line is double doors and the entrance of art. They cannot be directly here. They can't be in front of you. So the oh shit line is basically assessing where the threat can come from. So if you ran out mid right now, your first fight could be on double doors. Like you could literally be standing there. So we need to be ready for that particular fight. And when you face that line, your gun must be out. If it is not out, there better be a damn good reason for it. And I would say that I would say 9 times out of 10, there's never a good reason. Players at your rank right now. But I want you to take a look at what their comp is like right now. Who do they have? What's our big threat right now?
Sky and Phoenix.
Sky, Phoenix, and actually Reyna. And why are they a threat? It's because they all have flashes. In a comp like this, when you see 3 flashes, you need to make sure that at least one of you, and in this case it would be you, are playing a position called anti-flash, okay?
Yeah.
This is where these two, Atlantis and Killjoy, can take most of the contact, and you can wait behind the pillar, and once you hear those flashes go out, that's when you peek out afterward. Okay, and this is what I'm talking about right here. So I think Killjoy ends up doesn't get flashed, but you could be ready for that flash and then peek in behind and then peek right back out afterwards. Something to think about. Okay, so there's a point here where we could have triggered discipline. Okay, so you're tucked in the corner right now. They know that there's people blind, but they don't necessarily know that you're in this corner.
Just run and leave, please.
Yeah.
They should full clear you here, but I don't think they're gonna do it if they end up pushing you.
Yeah, pretty sure.
That's crazy that I thought that alarm bot would get you for sure. Anyways.
So did I.
Okay. Right when you see the situation, don't shoot them right away, okay?
Yeah.
You need to have this little trigger discipline in your head because this is now free, right? If you wait and you take a second, just trace her, and if there's someone else pushes behind her, all of a sudden it's now a multi-frag situation. Or you can even just slowly peek out to the left and see if you can find someone who's over here, because they're not going to be looking at you now, because this Astra essentially just cleared the whole thing. This is the next point that I need to make on what happens in the situation, because now we need to talk about staying present and how important it is to stay present. So let's listen to the confrontation real quick.
Bro, you gotta play with me, man.
You can't even blame it on me, is what you said. That is the worst thing you could say. Worst thing you could say. Think about it like this, right? If you were in a little bit of an argument in person and you didn't want to start a confrontation, or you wanted to start a confrontation, that's probably one of the things you would say to start rising up the energy, right? So you need to be thinking about the words you put out, because it could be used for venom or it could be used to actually support and uplift people, right? And this is why I always say the easiest way to diffuse any kind of situation is take extreme ownership and complete blame. And what I typically say is, you're completely right, I'm so sorry, what would you like to do this round? So we're about to see one of the biggest pet peeves I have personally, right? And this is the reason why I started doing a lot more action comms for myself, is because I got into this situation so many times with teammates in ranked where I got hung out to friggin' dry. So watch what happens, watch what you do here. I absolutely hate when people do this to me. This is why I say action comms are so important. Okay. So already, Jet's
My
pissed off.
goodness.
I haven't even gotten to it yet, but already Jet's pissed off at you, right? So here's what happens. You motion like you're going to peek with the Jet. Okay, you motion like you're going to peek with the Jet, and then you pull away. Now, when I'm Jet, and I'm usually the Jet in the situation, I think you're going to be with me. So I say, I'm going to go for a full swing here and peek.
That makes sense.
Okay? So you're actually pushing him and hanging him out to dry at this point when you make that first step, right? To try to even out with him. But when you pull away, because you don't say anything, he's more likely to take a one-on-one fight. All you gotta do is just say, Jet, I'm leaving you. And that will absolve yourself of all guilt, because if he had died from newspaper, for example, expecting that you were there, you know, you remember how you feel like when you don't check your minimap all the time, like you don't have all the information. That could happen. And here's another way to get him out of tilt mode too. You're working with him. Instead of going for the second frag, you should say, I'm baiting for you, I'm baiting for you. Because look, if you look at your minimap, you look right here, you see he's coming up right now, he's coming up on this person. You should just fire some shots, fade away, fire shots, bait him, keep that guy focusing on you so that Jet gets a free kill. It's kind of like, people are like cats, right? I call this the cat protocol. When you dangle the little string in front of them, or you shoot a laser onto the wall, how does the cat react? It goes straight for it, right? So people are just like cats in this game. When you give them an opportunity for a fight, they go, oh, there's a person that can shoot over here. I'm gonna go after him. This is a perfect opportunity to bait and switch for your Jet. There's a lot about Fatal that I think a lot of players don't understand, and one of them is the sound effect that you get when you throw it into the site, for example. You'll be able to hear right away how many people are going to be there.
Ding, 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 ding. It tells you.
Yeah, it's very, very evident. So what do we need to worry about on this particular round?
They can't buy.
Yeah, they're on eco. That's the first thing. Now, the general rule of thumb when you're playing against an eco round is that they're typically going to do one of two things, unless they're really bad, which we're in gold, so you might be able to see the really bad situation. If that's the case, you're going to run them over and it's going to be easy for you. Because the really bad situation is they take their sheriff and they play it like it's a vandal, right? A one-shot weapon, and they're going to play long range. Like, well, fantastic. I'm going to peek you with my vandal and win that fight all the time, right? Yeah. But the good teams or the good players are going to do one of two things. They're either going to be hyper aggressive, take space and try to force close range fights, or they're going to do a stack on the site. So your role as a Fade, as a Sova, as any kind of information gathering character agent, you need to ensure that the side that you go to, or the site that you go to, has no stack or limited people on it. That's your job. That's your direct role. If you immediately ult and you find 3 or 4 there, get the fuck out of there and let's go B. Say cancel, let's go B. There's 4 here, right? Right away. That's your role.
Where are you?
Okay, there's nobody up front and close. This is good for us. That means they can only be back site lurking here or back in flowers, and maybe here. Probably not back in flowers in this situation since they're on eco, right? So if you ult, nobody there. So it's just like I talked about before, right? They're on eco. What are they likely to do? They're either going to play aggressive or they're going to stack. So they probably went and stacked A, and now they know that, oh shit, they're going into A, or sorry, stacked B, I meant to say. So they probably went and stacked B, and there's probably an Astra here, and he's making comms right now. That means that they're probably pushing out through the map on all different angles. Jet may find contact at some point. We can pay attention to that. We don't necessarily have to be in sight. Go ahead.
Jet just said they were mid, so.
Yeah, so they pushed out through mid. That means they're starting a flank right now. That means there's probably going to be 1 coming this way. There's probably 1 back here. That's probably your Astra. And there's probably going to be 3 pathing in behind at this point. You ulted in. How many pings did you hear on that ult?
0.
0. Tell them so that they can get in there and get that bomb done as soon as possible so we can play post plant. Right? Because I'm not sure what you said there, but you didn't calm, for me, you did not calm 0 pings. All right, so post plant situation. As soon as you knew site was clear, where could you have played?
Either in like dugout or A main.
Say A main. If you go all the way through dugout, then that's one thing. The problem is that we need to control lanes into the bomb site. Right now they have 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have no control over the lane. We have no idea where they're coming from, and we just lost our flank. So now that we know that they're there for sure, so I would say that 100% we could probably have just played right back here and just tried to like take some single out fights. and hold this space
Yep.
as long as we possibly could. Now that all three of us are on site, now we got to make a decision. What do we do? Do we face the 3 guys back here, or do we push out and try to get control over CT?
Yeah.
Right? So we're up shit creek without a paddle right now. I would actually, honestly, I think your best bet might be to get everyone to push right through CT and go into B and just fight that. Yeah, because now look at this too. Now we're in a real shitty spot. Like, this is like, I don't think you win this round. There's like no way you can win this round at this point. This is your play area. This is your play space. This is it right here. That's all you've got to play around with.
Done.
Yeah, look at it. They're all over the place. They're all over the place. There's your Astra. Astra was probably sitting back flowers like we talked about, and she fell back after the ult and then sat in smokes, and there she is exploding on you.
Player stand.
See how that happens right there? And that's a post plant situation. That's like realizing that post plant happened right after your ult, right? And then knowing where to path at that point, where to stand. Once you cleared out sight here with this ult.
Yo, no.
Oh look, no dings. A's clear, A's clear, A's clear. And that's when you could have rotated right back to help Jet. Instead, we kind of, in my opinion, we kind of just tunnel vision into the site at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. So the key for you is identifying when post plant happens. Your post plants happened once you ulted site and realized there was nothing in there. So that was where you're like, okay, now I gotta move for it.
You are now listening to Strawberry Station.